Hello, friends. I am Kim, and this is my video podcast all about knitting, cast on and carry on. And I'm just going to do a quick little recording today, talk through a couple things I'm working on, and then actually frog what I would say is my first big fail. So I actually don't have anything planned to talk about when I do that. So I'm just going to probably be rambling about what I think or how I feel. Okay, starting with my passion fruit juice and soda water in a wine glass because everything tastes better in a wine glass, and that tastes awful. Is it the juice? Is it the ice? I don't know, but I will not be drinking that. That's gross. Hi. So I guess we'll just do this like a standard podcast vlog style thing. So we'll start off with what I'm wearing. This is, of course, my Hey Sailor, wearing it with the buttons in the front. And I am seeing that there are a couple threads on the buttons that I need to wind back in. But this is my favorite piece I've made so far. It's the most ambitious I've made so far. It was done with mosaic knitting, which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know what it was. Recently learned that. That's what this technique is called. It's a little bit cooler today here in London. We're in the middle of another heat wave, but it was about 70 today instead of in the 80s. So it felt very manageable. And this is still, I'll be honest, like this is the Knitting for Olive cotton merino. And I will say, like, with this tight of a weave, it's probably a little bit too warm for me for the summer. Cooler days are better, but it's still a little warm. So I might end up having to take it off at some point in time, but that's fine. Okay, so that is this piece. Like I said, I love this piece. I'm so proud of myself for making it. And I think she's beautiful. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it. I love her. I don't have any newly completed projects. I'm still working on, I'm now on 3 whips. I've broken my rule about finishing a project before starting the next one because I was kind of getting a little bit burnt out on my main big project right now. So I casted it on another big project, and that's okay. I did that. I cast on about 4 days ago, maybe 5 days ago now, but I had a super busy weekend, so I didn't get a ton of knitting done on it. I'm planning on only doing the back yoke until like the part where I have to hold the stitches to add the front to it, but I will show you her. My yarn is very tangled for this. I don't know what happened. Like what a mess. Oh, there's extra needles in here. Here we go. This is what happens when you have one big basket that you keep all of your whips in as you're working on them so you can pick up. And also, I will say that this yarn, I was working from, here it is. I was working from this ball of Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino again. This is the Thunderclap. And I was doing a center pull, and this has been actually this specific skein or ball has been really difficult to work from the center. There's been a lot of big like chunks or knots that make it hard, so I had to pull out a bunch of it at once to unravel that bit, which isn't something I've really had too much with them before. But so that's why there's so much extra of the gray yarn around right now, and I'm in a gray spot, like a gray stripe, or I probably would cut it. And then apparently the lime yellow is everywhere too. Okay, sorry, little children are walking by, and so they're being adorable and loud, and it's upsetting my dogs. So, okay, so this is the start of my jean tee, which actually I think it's going to be this way. I think this is from top down. So this is the current start of my jean tee, which is my first piece I'm knitting that has like a lace element to it. I've been really enjoying it. And I'll be honest, this is another one that it's been easy to memorize. So I'm able to do it while watching TV, or like just minimal counting, in part because I was reading I like saw these people that had started it, and one of the women, I think, that did a test knit, commented that she had made sure to put stitch markers at each section of the lace pattern for each repeat, which I don't know that I would have thought of that myself. It might be a really standard thing for lace knitting, I don't know, but I probably wouldn't have done that, and then I would have had to really count everything in a very difficult manner. Instead, each lace count is 17 stitches, so I'm able to just go by my stitch counters. I am still obsessively counting the 17 stitches because I have found I somehow, like, once, like right here, I added a stitch, so it was 18, and I had to fix that. So I am counting them still, but it makes this lace section right here, oh, here, let me face the good side to you, makes this so much easier because I'm able to be like, okay, 3 of these, 5 of these, 3 of these, each one, and just repeat it. So I'm knitting this with the Knitting for Olive cotton merino as well, and I'm using the lemon yellow, lime yellow, no, I can't remember its name. I had bought that originally for this piece, but I didn't like it with the undyed. It just wasn't enough of a contrast to really stand out. 1 second, I have to help my dog onto the couch. Don't growl at me, I'm helping you. Okay. And then I paired it with the Thunderclap to get that nice dark gray. I'm really loving this combination. It's really fun. It is kind of giving me Bumblebee, though, I will be honest. So we'll see. But I think it's fun, so I think it's going to work. And now I'm envisioning dressing as a bumblebee for Halloween and wearing this shirt and making some little wings and little antennae and being all set with that. So this is my most recent cast on, and I'm having a lot of fun with her, and she's giving me a break from the project that I've been working on for my husband. And that is, of course, this piece, my Beads of Joy, in the very bright color palette that he selected. I've got the front panel done on this. This is my second time doing the front panel, and or it could be the back panel. It's reversible. But so I've gotten this one done, and it's much better size-wise than the first one was. But it took me so much longer to do this than the first one. I mean, in part because it's larger, like, clearly, like, here's the original that was way too small. Like, let's just see how they compare right now. No blocking or anything, obviously, but, like, look, drastically different in size. I don't know still quite what I did. I think I thought I had my gauge right, or I thought it was, like, even actually, like, a little bit loose, but then I think I was looking at it the wrong way. I think that I was like, oh, this is knitting up, so this gauge will make it a little bit larger, and I think it actually knitted up a little bit smaller than anticipated. So I did go up a needle size for this one, and I knit the larger size as well, and this is much more manageable, like, as you can see it on me, but because of that, I will say I don't think that the wave is as noticeable in this, and I also, looks like I might have messed something up right there, but the waving isn't quite as noticeable. It's there, but I think I like the look of this more. See how, like, extreme this wave is at the smaller size, because it's like a larger difference between the wide and the narrow, versus this is not quite as much. I mean, once I block it, it'll fix some of these issues I think I'm seeing. I'm hoping, because I don't know what happened here. But it's not as extreme. So I would probably, like, if I were to do this again, and I swear to God, I'm not, okay? My husband's going to love this no matter what. So it's part of the joy of being married to someone. They have to like what you make them. Anyway, I would probably, instead of decreasing, it's like increasing like 10 stitches, and it's like when you're going from the little to the big, you like in the first row you add 1 and then you add 3 and then you add 1 again and then you subtract 1, subtract 3, subtract 1. I would probably make it more extreme. So I would probably like add 2, add 4, add 2. And so instead of adding 10 stitches over the course of it, that would be what? 2, 4, 2, 12, right? No, 16. Wow. Okay. I forgot how to math. Which would, of course, affect the sizing of this again, because they would be bigger, kind of, but it would make this more of an extreme curve. And I really like that look of the extreme curve in this piece that I had achieved in this one. So still loving the project, but I do love this look more than the larger size. Okay, and then my third whip that I'm working on right now is my sock. I'm still working on the sock. I'm just like working on it in bits and pieces. Right. Sorry. Here it is. I think I'm doing pretty well. I'm almost there. I think, wait, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's probably at least 2 more here that I just haven't put my stitch markers on yet. So I would guess I'm pretty, like I'm over halfway done of like the body to the toe. So my goal right now, my biggest goal is to finish this week because I am going on a trip over the weekend. I leave on Sunday to go to Disney World in Paris, or Euro Disney, or whatever it's called. And I want to take a fresh project with me, a fresh sock project, and start a new set as for like the flight. And that is my goal, is to finish this today. Not today, I'm not going to finish it today, let's be honest, but to finish this week before Sunday so I can cast on a new pair of socks for my trip. Okay. So those are my current whips. And now for the main event of what I'm planning on doing today is not this version, because this is the correct size one. I'm going to start frogging this. I might cry. I hope not. I wasn't going to frog this until I needed the yarn, and I don't need it yet, but specifically there's this one piece. I love this section, this blue to pink here. This is like my favorite section because, I need to turn the lights on. Excuse me, one moment. Sorry, it is cloudy out today, and it's, starting to get dark a little bit. The sun is setting a little bit earlier, so my lighting wasn't very good. Hopefully that previous stuff was useful. This pink to blue gradient, this ombre here, is like my favorite part. And I want to make sure I'm able to utilize this in one side of this piece. So to do that, I need to frog. I've not actually frogged a large piece before. I've not done this quite a bit. And I need to figure out where. Oh, I have multiple pairs of scissors, which is helpful, but I would like to use my spare needle that I have here and see if I can't just pick this instead of having to cut anything. And I'm going to start frogging her. Okay. This was bound off, so this section is a little weird. There we go. What is your best approach? What do you normally do for frogging when you frog? Because, like I said, I've not actually frogged anything major before. I considered, like, I have the bag of all these skeins, or the balls I made from this cake, so I could like wind it right back onto it. Or should I make little balls? I've seen some people that have done it right into their yarn winder, which actually seems like a really great idea, but I don't think that this is enough yarn to need that. So I'm kind of just like trying to do it myself into a ball. And it is kind of sad, just if you think about all the work you've put into this, but I know it's part of the process and you have to learn to love it, is what I've heard. Would you like up, Jackal? Come here. No? Okay, that's fine. No. Oh. So I've been told you have to learn to love this. It's part of the process. Some people I've seen have gotten to a stage where they say it's actually like really I don't like how I'm winding this. It's really empowering to like knit, to frog a whole piece. Maybe one day I will get there. I will say I've always said about like I do a lot of acting, and I've always said that like auditioning is its own skill set, and you need to learn to love auditioning for itself, because a lot of people hate auditions and they find them like really disheartening, like if you're putting all this time in preparing for an audition and not getting cast. But I've always been like, it's a completely different skill set than anything else that you're using um, as an actor. Like the skills you're using while you're auditioning are not like what you're going to be using when you're on stage. And you need to learn to love auditions for themselves. And I have gotten to that point as an actor. I enjoy auditioning. I frequently, I mean, not since I moved to London, but like when I was in Denver, I would regularly have 3 auditions a week. Um, because it's like the more experience you get auditioning, the better. This is different, obviously. Like frogging is not a skill that you need to develop, unlike auditioning. But I know a lot of people find it empowering. I wouldn't go that far yet. Maybe someday I'll get there. Look, this was like 9 days of work, so it's not like the end of the world. My mom was knitting something and she cast it on like 4 separate times. So at least there's not that. It took her like 3 or 4 weeks before she finally got it right, because of the way the pattern was and the size that she was knitting it at, and she kept trying it on and it was not right. And so she had to keep undoing it. And finally she was like, this is it. This is the last one. Here's where I'm at. So that's good. At least this was a smaller piece that, in the grand scheme of things. So, what do you normally do when you're frogging? Do you watch TV or listen to something? That's what I normally do while I'm knitting. But this is my first frogging of this extent. I've, of course, done a couple rows, nothing major. What happened here? It's stuck. Okay, there's a little knot there that I apparently just was like, I'll just knit that in, it's fine. So, all right. Okay, here is one panel done. Isn't it funny when you like how quickly you can undo things versus how long it takes to do them? I'm sure there's some like life lesson there or something that about how much like what effort is worth or something like that, or habits probably, like they say it takes I've heard like it takes 3 weeks to break a habit, but longer than that to start one. It's probably simple, something like that. Like it's easier to undo than it is to do. It's easier to break than it is to build, right? So this just feels like that's very true. So speaking of habits, have you tried habit stacking? I have, and it just doesn't work for me. I don't know why. There are certain things I do every day, but it's hard for me to stack. It's supposed to make it easier, right? But for me, that was not the case. Although I did last year finally start flossing like every day. And I did that because of TikTok, actually. I decided that one of my New Year's resolutions for 2024 was to do a new like hot girl trend every month and try to pick up some good habits. It did not last, but the first one I did in January was flossing and taking care of my teeth better and having like the hot girl teeth care or oral care routine. And so I flossed every single day in 2024. I think I maybe missed like over the course of the year less than 10 days, which was amazing because I went from never flossing to flossing every day, and it has stuck. I didn't keep up the rest of the resolution. I didn't do anything else for the other months, but it doesn't matter because I instilled a good habit in that that makes me a healthier, hotter person, I guess. Perfect. I've been really busy lately. I've been having a couple of those weeks where I've just like accidentally overextended myself with like plans with friends because everything sounds like fun. And I'm like, oh, and the weather is so lovely and I need to take advantage of this. So from about 2.5 weeks ago, probably till mid next week, I have like super overextended myself. It started with last week. This is so tight now, I can't get it off my hand. There we go. Got it. Started with last week where don't even, it was so, now it feels like it was so long ago, I can't remember. But last weekend was really fun because on Thursday, my friend asked me to go to this weird, like, little art gallery opening event with her. So I got to go to that on Thursday, which was really fun. I actually, I thought a lot of the pieces, it was like this really interesting mashup of like pop art, current art, branding, kind of mashed together, which was just really fun. So I enjoyed that. And then, so that was Thursday night. And then Friday night, I went to the zoo with all of my friends, like a big group of us, went to like the London Zoo nights, which happens every summer. And it's after the zoo technically closes, it's adults only, and you get to go to the zoo. And I love children, but I didn't know that I needed like a zoo experience without children. It was really lovely. It was less crowded. It was, what's happening here? It was just a lot of fun. We also did this, like, they called it their naughty nature tour, and it was it was talking about animals and how they mate and have sex and their sexual organs and stuff, which was really funny, actually. Like, our tour guide was so great. And Channel 2 done. Our tour guide was really great, and we learned all sorts of random facts, like who knew, like a gorilla's. Okay, if you don't want to hear this, you can skip ahead. I'm not going to talk about it too much though, but like a gorilla's penis is only the size of a safety pin. Also, apparently, there's like 1,500 different animal species that practice same-sex sexual activities, and it hasn't been super studied until now. But now there's been some studies and it shows that. And I just think that's really interesting, and I think it's really an important statistic to get out there. My dogs are going to kill me. They're going to be the death of me. Okay, sometimes if I like sit him here next to me and like hold on to him like this, he'll be quiet and he won't bark at me. Oh, thank you. Anyway, I think that's a really important statistic to know and share, because there's so many people that are, sorry, I can't think of words because I'm so tired. There's so many people that make that argument that homosexuality is unnatural because, and then they say like, because it doesn't exist in the animal kingdom, but that's a lie. It does. And I think it's really important for people to know that, because just one more um, arrow in our quiver against bigotry and hatred is always a good thing. So that's what I did Friday. And then Saturday I had cookbook club, which is one of my favorite things to do. We meet every other month or so and we pick a cookbook, and then everyone picks a recipe or two out of it, and we all make that, and then we come together and have a big party and a potluck and get to eat all of the foods, which is amazing. And we did, I think the book was called Eat Hawaii True or something like that, which was very good. My favorite thing was something somebody else made. He made the breakfast fried rice out of that book, and it was so good. Excuse me, Scylla. Excuse me, girl. Stop. But I just love that. Some of my favorite recipes that I make regularly now are from cookbook clubs, and my favorite thing is that it's always something that didn't actually catch my eye from the get-go. Like, nothing that sounded interesting or like enough to make me want to make it, you know? And so if somebody else made it, and then I was like, this is my favorite thing. So like I said, a couple of my most used recipes have been found that way with Cookbook Club, which I love that. And then Sunday was the Wimbledon final, and my friend was like, hey, we're gonna hang out in my backyard and watch it and bring the dogs. And so that's what we did Sunday, which was great. But then I was just like exhausted. And even though like a lot of those things were chill, I've just been like so tired. So I ended up like taking a half day on Monday, and I slept like 10 hours Sunday night. Like I went to bed at midnight and I didn't wake up until like 10 a.m. Panel 3. I didn't wake up until like 10 a.m. And then I even took a nap, like a 2-hour nap, and then still was able just to go to bed at a normal time for me that day because I've just been so tired. My friends were like, oh, maybe it's COVID. I swear to God, it better not be COVID again. I've had COVID at least twice. And I just really don't want to have to deal with that again. I feel fine other than being tired. It's not COVID. I know that, but I have a trip coming up. I don't want it to be COVID. Okay. All right, we've got three of these done, so we're a third of the way through this already. I'm probably just going to unwind this and fast forward through the rest of this because I don't have anything to talk about. I'm really not that exciting of a person. But look at how he's sleeping now on my knee like this. Sometimes this is the only way I can get things done or like watch TV in peace. He'll listen to my husband when he tells him to stop barking, but he doesn't listen to me. And Chase is giving a guitar lesson right now. So, okay, I'm going to be quiet now and just speed through this. Look what I did to my hand. Oh, ouch. Ow. Shoot. Four more to go. We're almost there. My arm is actually a little tired from doing this. Hoping this is still recording good. We're almost there. Poppers, where's... Oh no. Now we're getting to the point where I like decided to be proactive and weave in my ends. So now I have to figure out where I wove my ends into so I can pick this out. This. Come on. This is what I get. Trying to be a responsible knitter and not have to weave in a billion ends at the end. I think I wove it into the top too because I was like, oh, there'll be a hem here which will cover this. up. Is it? No. Oh, no, that's what, is that what, did I have to bend it off up here? Whew, okay, good, because that was going to be annoying. I mean, I still did start weaving them in here, but I can see where that end is, so that'll make it easier. This one, I just hadn't done yet, but it was in a weird spot. Oh, gross, Jocko, thank you for that. There we go. Maybe I can wind this more loosely. How did I manage to do this? Oh, maybe I did start like weaving in that end and then managed to tie myself in a knot. Oh, you know what? We can deal with that later. What is happening to me? What? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. That's what it is. I'm winding from the wrong direction. Okay. Let's try this again. There we go. There we go. What if I looked down and realized I was unraveling the right side? I mean, I'm not, but I would cry at a minimum, and I would probably quit knitting after, 3 projects. I would just be like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Frogging is what did it to me. It took me out. What's happening? Okay. Oh, there's the other needles I was looking for. Now this one actually I did weave in the ends, but I can see one of them, like the little end bit of the woven in ends, so that might ideally make this easier. When you weave in your ends, do you like follow the knitting or you just go straight through? I follow the knitting because the first video I saw told me that's how you're supposed to do it, but I've seen a lot of other knitters that don't, and that feels like it might be easier, especially if you do ever get to the point where you're like, I'm gonna frog this piece, because you can then just like see it easily. Dogs, please be quiet. I thought this was going to be easier. Now where? This one? This sucks. This is not a fun thing to do. Like, it's a bummer to undo all your work, first of all. But second of all, like, is that it? Nope, I'm just like picking this yarn apart rather than finding my strand to unravel. There's got to be an easier way to do this. I'm just making a full mess out of this piece. And this is the yarn. This was the color pattern I really wanted. Oh, okay, there's another. Oh my god, that's right, because I wove in both edges. So like now I'm like, well, which one's which?
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just
All right, well, I'm gonna finish this up on my own because I'm gonna have to do that for each of these other ones. And if I've learned anything from this process, it's don't try to be proactive and weave in your ends in advance, because it's a pain in the ass to then frog it if you need to. Well, okay, I know this wasn't a super exciting one, but thank you so much for watching if you've made it to the end. Yeah, if you would like or follow, if you want more, and next one won't be more exciting, I promise. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye.